Today, I am working on applying for a loan. This will be the first business loan that I will ever actually have in the business name. Up until this point, everything has just been in my personal name. Of course, the business is guaranteed by me personally, so this is a difference of a process though. Up until this point, it's been very simple. It's been verifying the income, it's been verifying the credit score, and very minimal information that's been required up until this point. Well, starting with this in my business for the first time, I am going to be applying for a actual business loan. So in this video, I want to share with you up until this point what the conversation has been like with the credit union business loan agent, I guess, and then what they're actually asking of me to share and to prove and to show with my business and what this is going to look like. So starting off with, I had first contacted the personal side agent for loans. I don't know if that's the right word, the agent, and he had got me in contact with the business side that handles businesses. So first things first, talking to the right person. So spoke with her on the phone. She had called me, got the information from the personal side person, and just asked a bunch of general questions. What do you do? How do you do it? Where are you wanting to go? And what is this, money ultimately going to be used for? How are we going to see that things are, progressing going forward? And what is this going to look like? Just to reassure our underwriting department, is there safety? Is there security? Or is this high risk? How do we even want to structure the loan? Is this going to be a collateral deal? Is this going to be a business line of credit? There's a number of different ways to work a deal, and ultimately it still might not be the right deal for me, but what I'm trying to do is give as much information that she's asking. So forgive me, I've got the AC running in the back, and then the dogs are here, so hopefully they don't bark too much. But the email that I have first from the business loan person, she was asking for the federal tax returns for 21, 22, and 23, as well as the business. So for myself, this is just how I have done it. This is not the way you have to do it or anything like that. We filed, my wife and I filed jointly, and since I am a single member LLC, the way it is filed, my understanding is that is just directly through my taxes. So it's not a separate thing altogether. Everything is included within that. So it's going to be fairly simple, 21, 22, 23. So I'll submit those, easy to do. The business financial statements that they are asking for, that's 2023 year-end profit and loss, as well as the balance sheet for 23. And then 24, they're asking for the profit loss and balance sheet through the most recent month reconciled. So if you have a bookkeeper, which I do, basically for me at the very moment, it would be June. So submitting this, if I were to submit this right now and pull from my QuickBooks, it is going to be June. That is the latest month that is already reconciled. So they're just wanting to see the full scope of the business, the whole history as much as possible, seeing that. Then it also asks for current accounts receivable, accounts payable, agings, and then the current business debt schedule. And they attached a template, so being able to see what are the other debts of the business, still insured by me, but what else is on the board. They're wanting to see what all are we getting into. Are we going to be loaning a guy money who already owes a ton of money to other people, multiple, just one or two? Are there any connections to, if we did do a collateral deal with the trucks involved and using the equity in those things, are we second on the list, third on the list, or are we able to, if he were to default or having, there was a problem, are we able to get the whole value? We're the first person on the loan to be able to get that. So those are the business financial things. And then next, asking for the collateral information. So potentially whatever I get, whether it's a trailer, a truck, a second truck, They need a quote or an invoice to determine the value. So seeing literally what I would be purchasing or what I would be getting. And then next, I already have an actual loan through them for the 2012. So seeing what that looks like, they can already see that on their end. That's not a problem. And then the other truck that would be potentially a part of the collateral deal would be the actual roll-off truck. So needing a bill of sale, recent pictures, and then having the original paperwork from where I bought it from, which in my case, if you know my history and know the story, I bought it from a guy in Texas who was title jumping and just wanted me to put it in my name, even though he didn't put it in his name first, which means you're skipping ownership and not paying taxes. So that would have to be addressed and dealt with the showing that corrected bill of sale, that he had put the right address and those things. So, and then lastly, and I think this is the most important thing, and this may be something you want to consider if you were to try to get a business loan through maybe a local credit union or maybe a local bank, rather than a mega company or some equipment financing company, something like that. I think a smaller bank or a credit union is going to take a little bit more into account than just the dollars and cents, just the percentage profit, just, it'll be a little bit more encompassing to see the exact picture of the business all together, not just cut and dry black and white. So this is what the person sent me, said, as I mentioned, if you could also provide me with a couple paragraphs on the vehicles and equipment you own, it would be great in telling your story. In addition to the year, make, model, the mileage, etc., tell me why the mileage isn't a concern, your experience with maintenance, your YouTube channel, etc. I'm looking for any information I can use to alleviate any underwriter's concern for the high mileage of the 2006, the roll-off truck, and any reservations they may have to whether the maintenance needed has been done. This is where you can mention the 2017 Ram and any others and the mileage they have, and showing the meticulous maintenance you perform. So again, if you've followed me since the beginning, possibly, I have 3 trucks currently right now. I had 4. I sold one finally. I started off with a Ram 2012. I bought it in 2016. That had 73,000 miles on it. I'm sorry, 83,000 miles. It now has 713 plus thousand miles, almost 750,000 miles on the pickup truck. I still have it. It's in my back driveway. I can still use it. And I have. I used it in RV transport for years, how I got all those miles, all basically highway miles. I performed almost all the maintenance on that truck since day one, more and more over time. More complex things, I would wait and watch other people see how they did that. I would use YouTube videos, really just soaking in all the information I could. Worked on that truck. I bought the roll-off truck almost 2 years ago now, I believe, or a little over 2 years ago. I started off not doing the maintenance on that, and I had a local shop work on it. And since then, I've been taking over the maintenance as I've had a little bit more time to learn and research and just feel more comfortable working on a bigger truck than just a pickup truck. And then since then, I also bought the 2017 Ram 2500, and I bought it with over 500,000 miles on it, with a blown transmission. I bought it from a guy who I know from RV Transport, again, highway miles, which is a fraction of the wear and tear that city miles put on trucks. And since then have put in a brand new transmission into it. I've got thousands of dollars worth of parts going to be put on it here soon. And with these trucks that have hundreds of thousands of miles on them, it was a concern when I talked to the lady on the phone. Initially, it was a concern that there was going to be a problem with the miles, and that they were thinking, oh no. And so that's when I had mentioned, hey, like, I understand that, but also high miles to me doesn't mean a whole lot. I have, not that I am a certified diesel mechanic, I am not. But I've been certified through the road less traveled of people who own trucks and learn and figure stuff out. And I have another YouTube channel, High Mileage Helper, which is actually the name of the channel, where I have showed all of my process of learning the 2012 truck, and even the 17 truck that I have recently bought from my buddy. I show how to do anything and everything that I've come across. All the how-to videos, pretty much everything that I've touched, maybe a few things I didn't record just because I was under a timeline. I've been able to show how to do the maintenance. I've done the maintenance. There's a record online of me doing the maintenance. That channel has over 11,000 subscribers. I've got over, I think, almost like 1.5 million views on that channel. So to a certain level, and I'll leave that up to you, what you think about the authority that I have and being able to say that I know what I'm doing with trucks to a certain degree. I don't know everything. There's still things I will absolutely not touch, and I will take to the shop and have them do it because I'm not on that level yet, and I'm perfectly fine with admitting that. So this list of things she's wanting to have me share my story. That's one thing that I think a smaller bank, a smaller credit union is going to put more value and weight into. It's being able to share the overall picture, not just dollars and cents. And so she said, please, share the YouTube channel, show some videos, talk about what you've done, what you've learned, how you've done things. She said, tell your story. She wants to see the whole picture and to put the concerns of the high mileage away for the underwriting department so that they feel more confident in me and who they're loaning all this money to and what I'll be doing with it, and being able to put that at ease. So I am in the process of actually writing this up. I've used ChatGPT to better organize my thoughts. Frankly, I've got a lot of things I wanted to share. Some things I think were important, some things I've cut out since then. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to share what my response is, or really what my pleading my case, or whatever you want to say. Let me pull this up here. So I show the three different trucks and the mileage and everything that they have equipped to it. And I said, since 2016, I have meticulously maintained a growing fleet of high mileage trucks, beginning with a single vehicle and expanding over time. My journey into truck maintenance started out of necessity when I purchased my first truck, the 2012 Ram, and has since evolved into a comprehensive and proactive approach, ensuring the longevity and reliability of my vehicles. The background and expertise says my experience in truck maintenance began with RV Transport, where I bought the 2012 Ram with 87,000 miles. So it was 87, not 83. I'm getting those mixed up. Over the years, I have added over 626,000 miles to this truck, which I still drive today. The high-cost professional mechanics led me to quickly learn truck maintenance through local mechanics advice and thousands of YouTube videos, and I'm not bluffing about that. This hands-on approach has equipped me with the skills to perform extensive maintenance tasks. I can't even say the word tasks. Under maintenance practices, I handle all routine maintenance, including oil changes, differential drain and fills, filter changes, and lubrication of greasable parts. For example, I use Lucas Oil Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer at every oil change to enhance lubricating properties and prolong engine life. I have also conducted brake jobs, cooling system maintenance, and more complex can't even say it again. Like repairing steering and suspension components and cleaning exhaust systems. Underneath the detailed service records, all maintenance activities are meticulously recorded with detailed service records from Dow Automotive. That's who I go to. That's my local shop that I use today. I've used other shops in the past. Blackstone Laboratories, they do oil analysis, so I get a printout of every oil sample that I send them, and they tell me the health of the engine essentially based on the oil, what they're seeing in the oil, and my own documentation. Blackstone Laboratories provides regular oil analysis, consistently returning positive reports indicating healthy engines and allowing for longer interval changes due to sustained lubricity and engine health. Dow Automotive, my trusted partner, provides prompt service for any repairs beyond my expertise. Something I didn't say in there, like they'll put me like same day or next morning. They will bump me to the top of the line. Being a business owner, they know that I have to have my trucks running on the road, so they will bump me up immediately above other people, which I don't deserve, but I am absolutely grateful for. Next, I've got preventative measures. Preventative maintenance is a cornerstone of my strategy. I conduct daily pre-trip inspections similar to the protocols I followed in RV transport, allowing me to identify and address potential issues issues before they escalate. This proactive approach has minimized downtime and prevented significant mechanical failures. Additionally, I keep all trucks within DOT compliance, even though it is not required for my vehicles with a GVWR of 26,000 pounds or lower. Fuel efficiency and quality. I exclusively refill at Love's Truck Stop to ensure diesel quality, avoiding potential contamination from smaller gas stations that are more prone to fuel quality issues due to low volume and tank sediment. Low quality diesel can shorten engine life and cause serious damage. I have recently started using also the app Fuely to track fuel efficiency, which serves as an indicator of potential issues in the fuel system and lubricated parts. This app provides maintenance reminders and maintenance and ongoing record that can be exported and updated. We're almost done here, sort of. In 4 years of business, only one delivery failure occurred due to a starter solenoid issue in the summer of 2023, which Dow Automotive swiftly resolved within a day. This track record underscores the reliability and operational readiness of my fleet. The future maintenance and upgrades, she encouraged me to share, hey, what is your roadmap? What's your plan? So looking ahead, I have scheduled fluid and filter changes for the 17 Ram and the 06 roll-off truck in the coming weeks. Additionally, I plan to replace the turbo in the 06 roll-off truck within the next 6 months to a year. Preventing future failures and maintaining optimal performance. This approach mirrors the successful turbo replacement that I had in my 2012 Ram at 593,000 miles, which preempted engine damage and restored fuel efficiency. So really just showing the history that I have of knowing what I'm talking about and what I have done in the past, to then be able to say, here's the roadmap, how I'm going about it in the future. Ultimately trying to give a calmness and a safe feeling to them of knowing, like, I kind of know what I'm talking about here with what I've experienced. I also plan to install new front steer tires on the 06 truck and then on all 4 tires of the 17 truck within the next 3 to 6 months. The 2012 truck does not need new tires for the foreseeable future, as it is used the least of the 3 trucks. This is kind of, if you're still to this point in this video and you're watching, this is kind of what my plan is. Under trailer purchase of operational flexibility, and there's maybe a whole other time to talk about this, I am purchasing a trailer to serve as a backup option for delivering and picking up dumpsters when the roll-off truck is down for maintenance or repairs. This trailer acts as an insurance policy for the truck, allowing me to take the necessary time for repairs without feeling rushed or pressured. Additionally, as my business grows and I acquire more dumpsters, the trailer will enable me to have another driver operating simultaneously, enhancing operational efficiency. With 2 pickup trucks, even if one encounters a problem, I have a backup for my backup option, ensuring continuous service for my customers. The trailer allows the pickup trucks to perform the same actions as the roll-off truck, adding significant value and operational flexibility. So if you're still here in the video, I am going to be buying a trailer. I can already maybe in the comments, you went from dump trailers to a truck and now a trailer. I'm adding the trailer to the truck, having the trailer as the backup, or maybe even the main thing if I like it. Ultimately, I'm adding options to my business. So allowing me to have, I've already got the 2 pickup trucks. I would add a trailer. If one of those goes down, I have the other truck to roll with the trailer, and then the truck, the roll-off truck itself, being able to run with that. So almost done. In addition to maintaining my trucks, I run a YouTube channel named High Mileage Helper, which has nearly 1.5 million views. The channel focuses on sharing intricate how-to videos for truck maintenance and repairs, helping other drivers navigate RV transport. I'm no longer in RV transport, so the channel is more of a hangout on live streams at this point. Every once in a while I will put out a video, but because I'm no longer in RV transport and I've already done a ton of videos on there, I'm not putting out as much content, but again, sharing my story and what I've had experience in, that's what I'm trying to do here. So this channel includes videos of work I performed on both the 2012, so the one I first started with, and the truck that I just more recently bought, the 2017, the Ram, before I owned it. So my buddy owned it. He bought it brand new. He's got a stack of records that I was a part of, and other shops and places were a part of all of the records, everything he ever had done to that truck since day one. Meticulous, maybe even more paranoid than I have been with trying to maintain my truck. So there's even evidence of me doing work on the truck that I have since bought on that channel, as I bought from a fellow RV transporter. My channel aims to help others preserve and maintain their trucks by sharing my knowledge and experience, providing detailed and practical advice. And then just kind of almost in closing here, I'm also a member of the Cummins High Mileage Club, which this may not mean a whole lot to people, but it's a neat little thing. I've receiving a pin for each 100,000 mile interval achieved. My goal is to reach 1 million miles, reach the 1 million mile mark, and join their 1 million mile club, demonstrating the longevity and reliability of my maintenance practices. In conclusion, the high mileage on my trucks is not a concern, but a testament to their robust maintenance and care. My extensive experience, supported by thorough records and preventative strategies, ensures these vehicles remain reliable assets for my business. The proactive measures and strategic planning in place demonstrate my commitment to maintaining a dependable fleet, essential for the continued success and growth of Helper Dumpster Rentals. So this is what I'm going to, a part of all the other files and the reports I'll be sending them. This is what I am sending to them as sharing my story, telling the human side of things. I talked to my dad, who was a claims adjuster for like 500 years or something, and he said similar to maybe smaller banks and the financial world with smaller owned companies and things like that, or financial institutions or whatever. The insurance world was also somewhat similar to that, where the agent or the claims adjuster, there was wiggle room. And it's not just a absolute thing, absolute yes, absolute no. They have room to bend and move around in different areas. Obviously, maybe not in all of the areas we would like. But as far as, telling my story, and she had said on the phone even, she was like, tell your story, but, sell them a story. Obviously, it needs to be true, but tell them a story, reassure them, share everything you've got with them. And they're really going to, ideally with the high miles of all 3 trucks that I've got, they need to be reassured and kind of maybe de-escalated, because they might come across other people who just don't know anything about anything, and they're hoping that they still have 4 tires on the wheel, being able to put them at ease and share all this stuff. So this is my story. This is what I'm doing right now. Applying for a business loan, first time in my business. I've heard that you need at least 2 years of business history to be able to show a bank or anybody for them to take you even remotely serious. I could have maybe gone some other routes as far as equipment financing goes. I'm not taking that stuff off the table, but this is something I've never experienced before. I don't have a video like this of somebody else sharing their this kind of process with me, so I figured I would just pop this video out here and tell it how it is. If you'd like a future update of this, not only just seeing the fruits of the labor of this, potentially getting the loan and pulling the trigger on some potential options, I will do that. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know, is this stupid? Is this great? Is this, it doesn't matter to you? Are you in the same position? Are you considering maybe getting a business loan for the first time in your business? This definitely seems more involved than the personal loans that I have gotten, or that I've personally guaranteed, just personally, because this is legit a business loan. I'm still the guarantor, however you say that, of all of this, but this is kind of next level. So I'm going to be sharing all this with her shortly, sending this to her. I don't know if this is overkill. I don't know if this is not enough. I'm frankly willing to send anything they want. If they want to have like a stack of every maintenance thing I've ever done, I mean, I'm gonna have to scan this stuff for the next like 3 years. I'll walk into the credit union and just slam a big box of all the paperwork. But conveniently, having a YouTube channel with the name High Mileage Helper is just, the irony is hilarious to me at this point. With that, some of my biggest videos on that channel, yes, I was helping people with RV transport and answering questions about that industry as I had already learned. But the how-to videos on showing my trucks, it's like, this fits like a glove. She said to drop the link for the YouTube channel, and I'll probably drop some links for specific videos showing me working on my trucks that were pretty major maintenance and replacement items for that. So we'll see how it goes. I hope this was a help and encouragement to you. I'm in the process of learning how this all works myself, and this is what I've come up with here. Let me know if you've done different things. Let me know. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe. God bless.